So good evening. So at approximately 1:13 p.m. today, the 18th of December, detectives from the Albany Police Department were attempting to stop a 29-year-old male, Devonte Wadges, on Trinity Place near Ashgrove Place in connection with several domestic violence investigations which had been escalating throughout the night and into the day. When the detectives approached Mr. Wadges, he attempted to flee on foot. He wound up pulling a .40 caliber handgun from his coat pocket, subsequently turned towards the detectives and fired at them. He fired both upon the approach when the detectives first came upon him on the sidewalk, and then ultimately as he tried to continue to flee, crossing the street. The detectives subsequently returned fire, striking Mr. Wadges, and ultimately stopping the threat and taking him into custody. A .40 caliber handgun was recovered on the scene. Multiple officers responded to aid the detectives and also provide emergency medical attention to Mr. Wadges. He was also treated by Albany Fire personnel and emergency medical personnel and transported to Albany Medical Center, where he is now listed in stable condition. The detectives involved in the shooting were not physically injured. We did have them evaluated to the hospital. Notifications have been made to the New York State Attorney General's office, the Albany County District Attorney's office, who both had representatives on the scene. Additionally, as we always do, we notified the City of Albany Community Police Review Board. This investigation remains active and ongoing. Mr. Wadges is being charged with 2 counts of attempted murder in the first degree and criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. I want to extend my gratitude for the bravery and commitment that the detectives showed today. It is clear through their training and preparation that that is what kept them alive today. Their professionalism truly showed through. No officer shows up to work wanting an incident like this to happen. Their intent was to take Mr. Wadges into custody for a serious incident of domestic violence, and ultimately it was his actions that escalated the incident. While we still have further work to do on both the criminal and administrative investigation, I want to ensure the community that this is not a wait-and-see situation. I recognize that we have more work to do, but we clearly have video that shows that Mr. Wadges had a gun, he pulled his gun, and he fired several times at the detectives, clearly intending to take their lives. And by the grace of God, their lives were not taken, and they are home safe with their loved ones tonight. So myself, my command staff, this police department, and the city should certainly thank them and the fact that they are home safe. We have a video that we are going to show. I'm not going to release the names of the detectives tonight. You're going to see that you will not be able to identify the detectives or anybody on the scene. We're blurring out their identity for the evening. But we're going to show in the video, and we'll also show several points tonight of where you see Mr. Wadges take the handgun out of his pocket, display the gun, fire the gun, and continue to fire the gun as he crosses the street. And then we can take some questions. So this is Trinity. You are looking up Trinity from Arch Street in that direction. That is the detective vehicle, and you will see the detectives getting out of their vehicle and approaching Mr. Wadges as he now tries to flee down the street. After it plays, we'll stop several pieces and we'll talk to you. So this first point we're going to stop at is where Mr. Wadges is going into his coat pocket and taking the handgun out of his pocket as the detectives are getting out of their vehicle to stop him. They already know who he is. They have identified him, and again, they are going to take him into custody for a domestic violence incident. At this point, Mr. Wadges has the handgun in his hand. He is turning towards them. And when the video stops in a minute, he's actually firing the weapon, and there's a shell casing that's expending from the firearm towards the sidewalk. So he's actually fired around at this moment. Again, you can clearly see the handgun in Mr. Wadges' hands right there. Continues to have the handgun in his hand as he's starting to cross the street, clearly turning back towards the detectives and continuing to engage them and fire back at the detectives. See the handgun fall to the ground. As he goes to the ground, and actually go with him as he goes between the cars. They then take him into custody. So as I said, it is clear that the detectives, their training, their professionalism clearly showed through, and I am extremely thankful for the job that they did and the job that all the women and men of this department do. With that, I'll take some questions.
I'm kind of curious, in the domestic violence case, was the weapon involved?
So I'm not going to get into the domestic violence case at this moment because that case has not been charged yet. That will be charged in the coming days, and when that happens, we will have further information.
Chief, were all of those other officers responding to that domestic violence or the domestic call as well? All the officers?
So most of the other officers that you see coming are actually coming from, so South Station is right down the street. So many of those officers are actually coming out of the station running to the aid of the detectives.
I noticed in the release it mentioned the word physically injured. I usually see just injured. Is that kind of implying that this was a traumatizing situation? Or?
Kind of implying.
Yeah.
You get involved in the shooting, see how you feel.
How many times were the officers shot at?
I'm not going to disclose how many times where anybody was shot at this moment. That's all part of the investigation.
Chief, how did the detectives know where to find this person, or was it just a chance encounter?
There was ongoing intelligence, and they were seeking him based on the escalating situation and the need to take him into custody.
Can you speak about any police history, police record that he may have had?
He had a very lengthy history. I'm not going to get into the entire thing, but he had an extremely lengthy history with us.
Was this a ghost gun?
We'll show you a picture of the gun. Give me 1 second. It is not a ghost gun.
Chief, do you know how many bullets were fired in all by the 3 shooters?
That will all be part of the investigation. We're still early in the investigation, so there are certain parts of it that I'm not going to be able to disclose right now.
Chief, can you disclose where the victim was shot at?
Where he was shot at?
Yeah.
That was right on Trinity, right near Ash Grove.
Like in his body.
Those are all parts that will come out later on in the investigation. Thank you.
Chief, how long have they been tracking or trying to get him?
This has all been happening relatively since overnight and into the day.
Okay. So what is the standard procedure now? Everyone, of course, is delighted and pleased that no police officers were injured. Are they on active duty? Are they on temporary leave? What is the status in the protocol?
So whenever there's a critical incident like this, somebody gets placed on administrative leave as we make sure that they're okay and we clear them for duty.
Was there any damage to any property during the incident?
Not that I know of at this moment, no.
Do you know when the officers' names will be released?
That'll be done at a later date.
What is the CPRB's role in this going to be?
The CPRB provides oversight to any investigation, so as we conclude our investigation, they will ultimately provide oversight to that investigation once we're concluded.
That video was pretty clear. Is it from a street camera?
That is a street camera, correct.
And should we assume there was also body camera video of
That-
this incident?
That will all be part of the investigation as we continue.
Chief, in watching the video, it looked like that suspect was almost right on top of the officers. They were obviously very close. It's hard to see from this vantage point, but in talking with your officers, did they say how close he was when he fired that first shot to them?
So having seen further video, they were extremely close. They were very, very close to each other.
Safe to say that being that close to the suspect, pulling out a gun, it's not going to be mistaken for anything else?
It was extremely clear that he had a gun and he was firing at them. There is no doubt about that. Okay?
Did he use weapons in any of the previous crimes that you alluded to?
That will come out further as we get further into the investigation.
Chief, you had said that he has a pretty lengthy record. Do you know when the last time that he was incarcerated was and how recently he was released? If
I-
he's been incarcerated?
I do not off the top of my head, I don't know.
At this point, considering I imagine he is currently hospitalized, he's in stable condition, right? He's in a hospital facility.
Correct, he is in stable condition at the hospital.
How long is it expected before he is, being able to be physically arraigned?
That will be determined based on his condition.
Chief, do you have the correct spelling of his name and his date of birth?
Yes, I do. So the first name is Devante. The last name is Wadjas. And his date of birth is 12/4 of 96. All right? Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.